install the new president of Noble. Chief Davis, if you will raise your right hand and place your other hand on the Bible. I, and repeat after me, I state your name.
I, Mitchell R. Davis III,
a member of the Executive Board of the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, Noble.
a member of the Executive Board of the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, Noble,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that while supporting and defending the Constitution of the United States of America,
that while supporting and defending the Constitution of the United States of America,
I support and promote the purpose and objectives of Noble.
I support the purpose and objectives for Noble.
Carla, there we go. My fundamental duty is to respect the constitutional rights of all people,
My fundamental duty is to respect the constitutional rights of all people,
to liberty, equality, and justice.
to liberty, equality, and justice.
I recognize the badge of the office
I recognize the badge of the office
as a symbol of public faith,
as a symbol of public faith,
and I accept it as a public trust.
and I accept it as a public trust.
I take this obligation freely,
I take this obligation freely,
without reservation
without reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and I will
and I will
well and faithfully discharge
well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which
the duties upon which
I'm about to enter.
I'm about to enter.
Congratulations, Chief Davis. You are now installed. I would say, but I see you're already doing it. If you can stand and recognize the new president of the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives.
Thank you so much. God's timing is perfect. God's plan is perfect. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. In the Bible's book of Esther, she ascended to a position of influence by assimilating into a culture that she would normally not be welcome. That sounds a lot like the 61 founders, what they had to do back in 1976 in this institution we call law enforcement. Much like many of us have done as a result of Noble's work over the last 50 years. Past President Renee Hall pointed out to me earlier this week that I'm the first president in Noble in the next 50 years. And it's an immense honor, but it also comes with an immense amount of responsibility. As Noble's 49th president, the charge that I have for all of us that have been placed in this profession of law enforcement, this institution where we were historically not welcome, is to contemplate the same thing that was posed to Esther as her people were in great peril of being destroyed. Just as many of our communities are facing peril right now, each one of us must examine ourselves and determine, were we created for such a time as this? Earlier in the conference, Noble founder Johnny Johnson told us, time hasn't changed anything since 1976. So there's no coincidence that we're still fighting the same fights that our founders were 50 years ago. In many cases, the challenges that we're facing are even greater than our founders faced 50 years ago. Noble is just as necessary now as it was 50 years ago. Noble was made for such a time as this. The slideshow was designed to give you just a snippet of my journey, the one that resulted in me ending up here tonight. Several years ago, members from the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police, they didn't look like me, came to me and said, it's about time that we have a black president in the Illinois Chiefs Association. As a result of their belief and their efforts, I became the only black person in the 86-year history of the organization to be elected president. Years ago, at an International Association of Chiefs of Police conference in Orlando, one of the past presidents told me, IACP needs you. And when he told me that, I thought he was crazy. Man, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm just coming to the conference. Well, some years later, I was appointed to a committee. I sit as the chair of that committee right now. And going forward, I was eventually appointed to the board of directors, which I still sit on 6 years later. I then ran for 4th international vice president for the International Chiefs. And I got the brakes beat off me. I lost bad. But you know what? In spite of that, the current president still chose to keep me on his board of directors. I've had a lot of people in Noble pour into me and lift me up. People like my big brother, Greg Baker, and my mentor, Eugene Williams. They came to me some years ago and they pushed me to run for Noble National Recording Secretary. I won that election and I was recording secretary for 3 consecutive years. After an unsuccessful first run for Noble Vice President, I was asked to run a second time by people like past President Dr. Joseph McMillan, past President Gregory Thomas, Chief Carolyn Williams, and others. The result of that election has me standing before you today. God's timing is perfect. God's plan is perfect. What some would call successes, I call opportunities. What some would call failures, I call challenges. What some would call losses, I call lessons. Whatever you choose to call them, they are my blessings, and they continue to mold me and make me the person that I am. Many of you have had a front row seat to my journey. Many of you have played a part in my journey. Some of you have actually even tried to disrupt my journey. But what you forgot was this: manure is a great fertilizer. And you also forgot that God does not send his people somewhere where he does not have them covered. Whatever part you played in my journey, I sincerely thank you, and I wouldn't change a thing. God's timing is perfect. God's plan is perfect. Delay is not denial, but a tool used for the timing of his perfect plan. I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do if it weren't for having a supportive mayor and supported elected officials. My mayor was here at the conference, but a couple nights ago, Hazelcrest, the town where I'm the chief, was devastated by a storm. So she had to leave last night in order to go back and take care of our community. But I am so grateful to her and the elected officials that allow me to do what I do. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without my deputy chief and the members of the Hazelcrest Police Department that hold it down while I'm gone. I would not be able to do what I do without the support of my brother and sister chiefs in the Chicagoland and Illinois area, and absolutely not without my Chicagoland Metro Noble chapter members. I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without my mom, who's sitting up here today. That was her holding the Bible. My siblings, my sister is here. This whole section is my family, y'all. My family, friends, and also my frat. I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without my children. My son and daughter are here today. Two of our kids are here today. But you know what? I love my kids, but y'all know the ones who have bestowed the best title in life that I will ever have. I couldn't do it without them. The ones who make me pawpaw. As God has carried me through this journey, my wife Carla has been there through the good times and the bad. My journey has definitely not gone without creating challenges for us, but Carla has always stood steadfastly beside me, supporting me with the utmost grace and beauty. I absolutely could not have made it through without her. Carla, I love you and I thank God for you. I deliberately make an effort to let people know my heart. As much as I try, I'm a flawed man, but I sincerely try to do what I believe is best for all involved in all circumstances. I truly believe that when things are better for everybody, things are better for everybody. That philosophy goes hand in hand with the golden rules. Just simply treat people the way you want yourself and your family to be treated. As your president, I'm going to make mistakes. I know that. I am not going to be able to do everything that everyone thinks or wants me to do, but I am going to do my very best as a representative and leader of this organization. I truly believe that if you know my heart, you'll be more inclined to give me grace when I fall short, because you know that my intentions are sincere and they're about the organization and not about me. After seeing the slideshow, some people might say it looked like the grass is a little greener on my side. The blessings that have been bestowed upon me may have resulted in green grass, but you haven't seen my water bill. You haven't seen the price that I've had to pay. You haven't seen the price that my household has paid. You haven't seen the price that my finances have paid. You haven't seen the price that my family has paid. And you have not seen the price that my wife has paid. Not one award that I have ever received or commission that I was appointed to or office that I've ever been elected to has ever come with a paycheck. But they were all the result of a lot of time and effort being invested. And those results sometimes included headache and heartbreak. Knowing all the things that I and we have been through, Carla has asked me many times, why do you keep on taking more responsibilities? She says, you just can't tell nobody no. And my answer is always the same to her. Baby, I'm planting seeds. I truly believe that you reap what you sow. And I believe that to whom much is given, much is required. And I don't take these responsibilities that have been given to me lightly. I have made the conscious decision, guys, that during my presidency, I'm going to enjoy this ride. I'm going to do the best I can, and I'm not going to major in minor things. Over this next year, I'm going to be relying heavily on our committees to be actively creative in bringing forth ideas and programs in their respective areas that support Noble as an organization. In order for this to work, I need you all to go to work. I need you all to join committees, not just join a committee, but be active on the committee. Bring forth those ideas and be ready to bring them to fruition. We're going to continue to solidify the partnerships that have been created with other national legacy organizations like the African American Mayors Association, the National Forum of Black Public Administrators, the National Black Empowerment Council, the NAACP, and others. We're going to make sure that we're being bold about addressing the epidemic of gun violence that's destroying our communities, especially youth gun violence. I recently watched an episode of Noble's Washington Metropolitan Chapter's podcast that's called The Ride Along. The host interviewed a retiree deputy chief and a director named Clay Goldston. Director Goldston shared that when Noble was founded, their chapter made a concerted effort to make sure that they went out into the community and they let the community know that we are here to fight for you all and we are here to address the concerns that you all have. And they wanted to make it clear that Noble was a household name. Well, 50 years later, we still have to put that work in. to make Noble a household name, both in the community and in our profession. We're also going to develop a formal network of attorneys, advocates, and professionals to help executives that unjustly come under fire, whether attacks come from the community or the administration. We need resources that will unapologetically stand with us during the times when our lives, our careers, our families, and our mental well-being are being burned down due to no fault of our own. And as I close, I want to make a couple promises to you all, Noble. As your president, I promise to represent you as an advocate for Noble as an organization. As an advocate for all Noble members. Let me say that again, all Noble members. And as an advocate for what I believe is best for all communities in the fight for procedurally just and equitable policing. I intend on doing this by operating as our founders established 50 years ago, seeking justice by action, by being the conscience of law enforcement. I also promise you that I'm going to be a farmer. Now, I know some of y'all are saying, what the heck is he talking about? Let me explain it to you. As a farmer, I'm going to nurture the seeds that have been planted by those great leaders in Noble that came before me. Leaders like President Renee Hall, who I was extremely blessed to serve under as her first vice president. Past President Colonel Jeffrey Glover, who I served under as second vice president. Past President Rodney Bryant, and all of their predecessors. As a farmer, I will also be planting seeds for a crop that I might not be able to harvest myself. I simply pray that that those that follow me in leadership deem the portions of my crop that I leave behind worthy of being a part of future harvests. I didn't choose law enforcement. I was a computer programmer. You all heard the Attorney General. I went to an engineering school. But 35 years later in this profession, I believe that God put me here as a vessel to do his work in this noble venue. A woman who's like a mother to me, I heard her speak recently, and she said, just because you are doing God's work doesn't mean everybody's going to like it. It doesn't even mean that everybody's going to like you. But what I'm going to do, while the fiery darts are being thrown at me, I promise to stand steadfast and keep fighting. Recently, the Chicagoland area was hit by lots of extreme storms. I told you Hazel Crest got hit real bad a couple nights ago. The high winds and heavy rains associated with storms uprooted many large trees. As I was looking at some large trees that had been uprooted, I began to see some commonalities, some common characteristics. As large trees that were rooted up, I looked at them, and they were toppled over as a result of one of two things. Either their roots were too weak and they broke, or their roots were not deep enough to withstand the storm. Noble, we are in the midst of a storm like that has never been seen before. But our noble tree is going to stand firm because our roots are 50 years strong. Our roots are 50 years deep. We shall weather this storm because I believe with all my heart that you, me, and we were created for such a time as this. Happy 50th anniversary, Noble, and God bless you all.